Act 2, the inner critic licks its chops. I was 30 years old, and the self-hatred hit hard. I didn't understand, and I overreacted. I quit juggling and stopped exercising, and my mood sank. I was so busy beating myself down, I didn't even notice that physical health and mental health are tightly connected. And my mood sank lower. I went to bed way early, and I woke up way before the alarm with a knot in my belly, a pit of anxiety. I felt drained. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to see anybody. I stayed shut in, and I said no to every friend's invitation. I was pissed at myself, and my inner critic was punishing me by pulling me away from everything that gave me pleasure. And no one ever told me that isolation and anger turned inward is a textbook definition of depression. If you've never had it, let me tell you, depression is a mental illness that causes a sit-down strike in your head. Appetite, interests, willpower, quit working. Confidence, creativity, connection, even hope call in sick. The foreman falls down on the job and shuts down the whole plant. And soon, all self-esteem can do is weakly wave a white flag. And self-sabotage grabs the reins. And here, let me tell you, if you or anyone you love has felt the sting of self-loathing, you know how deep psychic pain cuts you down to shame. It was kept as a secret that clinical depression ran in my family until my Uncle Morty. Clinical depression is what caused my Uncle Morty to take his own life. So when my Aunt Thelma caught wind of my condition, she came over and she would not leave until she got me admitted to the Psychiatric Institute of the Pennsylvania Hospital. I owe her more than I can speak. I was diagnosed major depressive and borderline catatonic. My first visitor was my mom, Judy. She tried to get me to talk, to no avail, so she said, "Come on, we're going to go outside and get some air. It'll be good for us to stretch our legs." And as soon as we did, we saw something strange. Believe it or not, there, right on the grounds of a mental hospital, was a 7-hole miniature golf course. Gamely, Judy tried to get me to engage. "Come on, Bob, let's play. It'll be fun." But after she watched me shuffle listlessly through 3 holes with a blank stare, she realized the combination of major depression and miniature golf was like theater of the absurd. And she gave up and she led me over to a little wrought iron bench. And we sat down without a word beneath a tall oak. And then Judy broke the silence by asking a simple question. "Bob, can you give me one reason why you want to stay alive?" I didn't answer. I couldn't think of a single thing. I hung my head and stayed mute. Suddenly, I felt my mother's fingers grip my jaw and swivel my chin, and she peered into my face with a ferocity I've never seen. And she said, Bobby, I love you so much, son. I worked so hard to bring you into this world. I don't want to lose you. Please, son, please. I want you to promise me you will not, no matter how hard it gets, you will not take your own life. She was my mother. What could I say? I said yes. And for the next several months, that promise is the only reason I stayed on this earth. I got good treatment, and I got great support. My family and friends were always reaching out, but I couldn't let them in. The demon of depression cut me off from any emotional closeness. But my loved ones wouldn't let the blue funk block them out. And one of them, my friend Ray, came over to the hospital to visit and said to me encouragingly, "Hey, Rob, you're a good swimmer, and I just saw the hospital has a great pool." I said, "It has no appeal." He said, "Come on, exercise. It would do you good." I said, "Ray, I'm just not interested in swimming, okay?" Ray surprised me. He said, "Yeah, ordinarily, because normally interest is what leads to involvement. But when you're depressed, it's the other way around." He could tell I didn't get it. So he said it again, even simpler. When you're well, interest leads to involvement. When you're depressed, involvement precedes interest. Somehow, Ray got me to go with him down to the pool. Begrudgingly, I swam one lap. I didn't like it. But a tiny speck in my psyche liked me for trying. And the next day and the day after that, I went back, and the little speck became a seed. And the pool watered it. And I started swimming every day, and my self-discipline helped to turn that seed into a sprout, a little start of self-respect. It was the beginning of a long road to recovery. Ray was right. It took involvement in order to get me interested. And to this day, swimming is a staple of my mental health diet, along with therapy, support groups, and lithium. But that's for a longer story. It's time now for Act 3. Picking up the pieces.